Good morning, good morning, good morning. Sorry I joined in late. The Wi-Fi signal is coming up, so I'm hoping that this plays correctly. Because I think this is going to be a good one. It's going to be a good message today. But I am your girl, Tanisha, name Miss Inspiration. We are here for another episode of Morning Inspiration with Friends. I am Tanisha. I am your friend. I got my coffee. And I'm ready to have this conversation because this was motivated by a video clip I saw yesterday. And it reminded me of just how much people don't understand the power of sharing our testimonies, the power of going out there, sharing your story and your journey. And it all depends on however you desire. But there's so many ways that we can do that. We can do that by going on social media, writing in blogs and magazines, and we can also do it in ways of like going on TV. And yesterday I came across a video clip that I'm going to share about someone reflecting about them watching Love on the Spectrum. Love on the Spectrum is a show on Netflix. It follows the journey of about 4 or 5 people who are living with autism and their journey to finding love. And when I saw this clip, I was like, this is why people need to share their journey. They need to share their journey because this is going to be one of those prime reasons why. So let me share this video with you real quick so we can get started.
From Love on the Spectrum, and this is about to get real serious. I genuinely don't understand how somebody could love people, be so happy, and be cheerful 24/7. Because my friend, all that you're doing is convicting me and everybody else in this world to be a better person. You, my friend, are one of the greatest people on this freaking planet. I sit here day after day watching your videos, smiling on this side, and realizing that I've become such a bitter person over the course of the last few years. COVID really took a number on me, and I just slowly stopped becoming the person that I was supposed to be and became this bitter old grandpa, similar to Scrooge. But watching your videos has reinvigorated something in me, and I want to be a person who is more loving, more kind, and more passionate about life. We all have ups and downs, but you, my friend, somehow, some way, make it seem like every day is a great day, and I want to live like that. And so thank you for being who you are. You encourage me, and you make me feel like I want to be better.
Sorry about that. But do you see how powerful that is? Do you see how powerful this is? This is so powerful because one thing he said that made me smile, because I remember watching Love on the Spectrum for the first time. It was definitely last year. I think I caught the first season when I was traveling, and literally I'm sitting in the plane because I had like downloaded like episodes on Netflix, and I'm just sitting there smiling as I'm watching, because first of all, it's giving me hope. Like, baby, I'm getting some hope out here. But it truly just resonated with me, when he was like, you're sharing your journey is restoring hope within him. He has identified that after the vid came around and people we had to go into isolation, so many people did become really bitter, upset, frustrated, angry, and they carried that all throughout the years. There was no healing. And something as simple as watching this show brings restoration. Right, watching these people go through their journey brings restoration. And this is the reason why when people ask me all the time, why do you keep sharing these stories? Like, why do you keep testifying it? People don't, you're always telling your business, because that can help somebody. And even though it doesn't make sense to you, you're not in the space to receive that. You're not in the space to share, understand that your story has power, that your story can go out there and change someone's life. Okay. This is what I want us to understand, because even when I had shared my journey of moving from New York to Tulsa on House Hunters, I received backlash. People were talking about me. People were like, well, why would she want to go on there? Like, what's the story behind that? It's nothing important. You don't see the journey, because do you know how many people are living in these major cities, big cities, New York, Atlanta, parts of California, they're living in these big cities and they're miserable. And someone had told them at one time, this is the best city, this is the best place that you're going to be able to be in. You can't go nowhere else. You're not going to survive. You're not going to be able to afford it. All of these different narratives. And here it was, they were able to see someone going from Brooklyn, New York to Tulsa, Oklahoma. And literally some of these people are finding me on social media. I had lunch, well, not lunch. It was, we met up yesterday at a coffee shop. And we spoke, and this person found me because I was sharing my stories, because they saw the House Hunters episode and was like, hey, let me reach out and see if she'd be willing to sit down and have a conversation as they are mentally preparing to make this transition for themselves. They haven't even applied for the program, but they have said, you know what, I'm going to come to Tulsa. And if I'm there and if I can meet this woman to sit and just listen to her story, listen to her journey of what has happened since she's been here, what does she loves about it, that will give me so much peace, because we don't know people's stories. We don't know how they're feeling. They could be living in these big, luxurious cities, apartments, and they're not happy. And it might just be the change of environment that's going to bring them joy and peace. And that's what I want people to understand. So 3 things that I want you to really focus on. So the first one is that your story is not just for you. And I think that is the most important thing. So many times people have this feeling like, oh, well, it's only important to me. No one else cares about what I'm doing. And it's like, absolutely not. Your story is going to help someone to make a decision. It's going to help someone to make a change in their life. So just like that video that I shared, he gave credit to Tanner for giving him inspiration to start having a better outlook and just being kind in life. Do you realize that is something that many of us need? So many people just need to hear positive things. They need to see positive things in order for them to have a change within them. This man identified that when COVID happened, he found himself to become more angry. And now he is watching a show just of people who have autism, and they're trying to find love on Netflix. And that has brought restoration to him. So do you realize that's why we have to go sometimes on these shows out here to show and display to the world there is a different way of living. There is a different way of you choosing to show up for yourself and for other people. I want us to get to that point where we realize this story that you have, that you're holding on, that you might be embarrassed about, you might be ashamed of. It is not only for you. You didn't go through it just for you. Other people need to hear that as well. They need that blueprint. They need that breakthrough. And you have it. You have it. You're living it. You are full living proof of what someone out there sitting at home, in their car, at work, at the gym, they're trying to think, how can this really become a possibility? They don't know it's a possibility because you haven't said anything. You haven't shared, you haven't testified, you haven't shared that story, you haven't shared that journey. This is the reason why. It's not just for you. It's not. And I want us to understand that. The second thing that I want is that people need to see an example of hope. People need to see an example of hope, of love, of kindness, of compassion, of all of it. Because honestly, right now, if we go on social media, okay, even if we go into the streaming apps, Hulu, Netflix, there is a lot more negativity that's out there than there is positivity. We are fighting a spiritual war. Toxic is popular. Toxic is taking over. So when people look at something as simple as love on the spectrum, they're like, wait, there's hope here. Like, I literally felt that way. When I watched that show, I felt the hope. I was just like, you know what, God, I believe that if they can find someone out there to love them despite their disability or their conditions, I know that I can find someone as well. That brings back hope. There are so many of you that do not realize your story is going to bring restoration and people believing again, people having hope, having love, and having kindness. I guarantee you. God is going to help us to come to fight the spirit of this negativity and toxic that's happening right now in our society. So do not be ashamed. Do not think that this is just, it's not big enough. It's not important enough. It is important, especially when it's authentic. When it's authentic, it's going to shine bright, right? It's going to shine. People are going to see. It's going to resonate. It's going to connect with them on a deeper spirit, on a deeper level. That is why you need to share your story. Your story, your testimony is going to bring someone some restoration and hope, whatever they're not having hope in. And so I'm telling you that because I don't want you to just sit back and sit on that story. I don't want you to sit on that testimony or that journey. Because see, some of you don't want to share the journey because you're in that. So you rather wait until I finish the story or I finish the process and I get to the final mark. That might not be God's plan for you. God might need for you to start sharing while you're on your journey. That was my situation when I started the weight loss journey. I started to coach people and I'm sharing and I'm going through all of this. And I had not even lost the first 50 pounds. God started to work within me after I had lost 30 pounds to start sharing. And when I was sharing it, people were going on that journey with me and they were seeing the hope within themselves. So they were like, okay, I didn't think I could lose 10 pounds, but because I'm following your journey and I'm doing some of the similar things that you're doing, I've lost 15 pounds. They have exceeded their own goals. So you don't even realize the value that you're adding to someone's life when you are opening up yourself to share. And I understand everyone is not called to share. But there's a lot of you that are called and you are not speaking up. You're not saying anything. You're not sharing anything. Everything is gate kept. It's a secret, or you're just hiding behind the embarrassment. Because sometimes our stories do start off embarrassing. They do start off with something that's like, I don't want people to know that. Do you know that I didn't want people to know that back in 2012, when I got on that scale that Monday night, that I didn't get a number? I got 2 letters. I didn't want people to know that. That was embarrassing. But I understood the power behind that. I understood what God was going to do and what God is doing because there was power there. Because someone else also had that experience. And those people have lost the weight and they have never shared that part of the story. That's the part of the story that made people say, you know what, Tanisha, let me get up with you and let me go and do this workout with you. Because, you know, I remember and I know that is my reality. See, I'm not ashamed of it anymore. It is what it is. Because I understand I'm not the only person that's going through this. And that God is using me just as a vessel. The same way that this guy on that video acknowledged that Tanner from Love on the Spectrum was an example for him. It was just like, oh, I needed to see this. So I'm just, look, thank you. I'm on fire. Thank you, Lord. The third one is that our testimonies are really our bridges to people. It's going to connect us to strangers. Again, that's the one thing I do love about social media is because social media connects me to people I would have never met in the physical form. Because I am now connected to people right here in the United States in different parts of the country I have never met in person. And I have inspired them. Let me tell you how when I moved to Tulsa, so, you know, like I said earlier, my sister and I was on House Hunters, and the young lady that was interviewing us, you know, from HGTV, or I think it was Pi TV, she interviewed us, and I'm telling her, you know, so she's like literally hearing the story of like the aha moment, that she's seeing the tears of like, I'm leaving my family, I'm like scared to leave them, and all this other stuff. And don't you know that we had never met in the physical? She had applied, she done got accepted into the program, she done visited Tulsa, and one day I'm downtown at the Tulsa Drillers, the baseball team. And Tulsa Remote had gotten like a suite, and I'm standing there and I'm talking and and someone turns around and she looks at me, and again I'm like, her face was like, I know you, and I'm like, and she was like, Tanisha, it's just, and I was like, we're like screaming, but we became connected because she heard my testimony, and because of that, it made her leap and take action and say, you know what? I'm also working remote. Let me go and apply and see what type of life that I could potentially have in Tulsa. And mind you, when we did House Hunters, I had not like literally lived in Tulsa for any time yet. I didn't move into the house until after we recorded. So I didn't really live in Tulsa until after we recorded, which was like a few weeks afterwards. But that person just heard the story. And see, hers was different. I came from New York to Tulsa. She came from like Iowa. Still, she was like, I need a change. I need something. And this person is taking this leap of faith, going from this big city to this smaller city, and she's going to get paid. Let me see if this is something that's going to align with my life and my values in the direction that I'm going. I'm telling you, your testimony is just going to do so much, and it's going to connect you with people that you don't know, and that you don't realize. Sometimes those connections can open up doors of opportunities for new jobs, for businesses, funding. Like, that's the one thing that I'm learning about being here in Tulsa. There's a lot of people here who have resources, and when you start connecting with individuals and start listening to what they're doing and listening what they have overcame, you start identifying and like, I know someone, and I can put you in contact. Or they're gonna just simply be like, look, I know an opportunity. They got the paper here, fill it out. You go ahead, and this is going to help you. Wow. Or for me just sharing my testimony, or for me just sharing the things that I have gone through, my stories. Yes, that can inspire someone. Last example I'm gonna give, when we had the day that I spoke at the Tulsa Remote anniversary celebration. Again, I'm sitting here just preparing, talking to some people, and one of the waiters came by, and she was like, "Were you on House Hunters?" And I was like, "Yes, I was." I was like, she was like, "I was just watching it." She said, and she was like, I didn't hear the program Tulsa Remote, but it sounded like you was describing the program, and I know that you guys are always here. So I said I was hoping that I would see you. And she was like, the area that I moved into, as a whole, society has said, parts of Tulsa will say, "Oh no, that's the bad side." It's not the bad side, right? It's quiet. It's residential. I love that. We don't have as many businesses up here because businesses started to move more from the south, but they're now adding value. And she said just watching the episode made her and her mom realize that they left a gem. They lived in the area that I did choose my house. And she was like, and now they're contemplating working towards finding out about the different programs. Because I did tell her, like, well, there's programs, that you can move back up to that area, and they will give you money. They will give you grants. They will cover your down payment and or your closing costs. Like, you should really look into it. So here it is. Something was ignited in them and saying, you know what? No, we're going back to where we came from. We're going back. We're going to go get us a piece of property because that was our home. We don't realize, you don't understand. Like I said, I keep telling people, I never understand why I get on here every single day and I talk about these things and I talk about my life and I share my journey. I don't understand why God has me ever since 2012, 2013, share my journeys. Guys, I never understood any of this until people started to get into my inbox. People started signing up for my programs. People started buying my books. It just made sense because now I'm hearing their feedback. I needed this, Tanisha. No one understood. I kept going to these people and they wasn't understanding what I needed, but you're speaking to what I need. And this is why I say, when you do what God needs for you to do, and you do it the way that God needs for you to do it, it's going to align with the right people, because he's going to align you with the right people. He's going to align you with the people that need everything that you have. And you're going to receive the same thing. It's not going to just happen, to you, where you put out your story and now everybody comes flocking. You're also going to sit around and you're going to be inspired by someone else's stories. And you're going to be like, wow, I needed to hear this, because that is an amazing journey that I wish that I didn't have to go through. Could have learned from your lesson, or I'm thankful that I am listening to your journey, because I know that this is going to bless me later on. I just want us to be blessed. And like I said, when I saw that clip, I'm going to play it one more time because we need to just hear this again. I'm going to play it one more time.
To get real serious. I genuinely don't understand how somebody could love people, be so happy, and be cheerful 24/7. Because, my friend, all that you're doing is convicting me and everybody else in this world to be a better person. You, my friend, are one of the greatest people on this freaking planet. I sit here day after day watching all your videos, smiling on this side, and realizing that I've become such a bitter person over the course of the last few years. COVID really took a number on me, and I just slowly stopped becoming the person that I was supposed to be and became this bitter old grandpa, similar to Scrooge. Watching your videos has reinvigorated something in me, and I want to be a person who is more loving, more kind, more passionate about life. We all have ups and downs, but you, my friend, somehow, some way, make it seem like every day is a great day, and I want to live like that. And so thank you for being who you are. You encourage me, and you make me feel like I want to be better.
And that is how we are going to end today's message. But as always, if you want to connect with me, please make sure that you go to my link tree. You can connect with me, learn about my books, Transition to a Healthier You, Healing of Dear Single in Love, and all of my other ebooks that I have. My community, Inspirational Trailblazers, we right now have it open to where you would get the first 7 days free. So if you sign up, make sure that you are choosing the option that says 7 days free. And then you can also learn about my courses, my blogs, and just ways to get in contact with me and my other social medias. So I am your girl, Tanisha Shanae, Miss Inspiration. I hope this message has inspired you. Share this message with somebody. I think this message is the message that we all need to hear. So I'm happy that I played that video one more time. So for those that joined late, you got to see what I was talking about. But this is why. Like, I'm on fire today because of this conversation, this message is what so many people need. And I am excited. Facebook, this message will replay again on Facebook Live, okay? And YouTube, this is here for you. Please share this to your stories, share this to your friends. Someone out there needs it. And I'm thankful to be a blessing and be a vessel to have these open conversations with people because it's so necessary. So I am your girl, Tanisha Shanae, Miss Inspiration. Don't forget, tomorrow you will not see me live and in person. You will be seeing a Throwback Thursday message. Yes. Your girl's been doing this since 2015. So I have nothing but messages. So I'm gonna pick an older one. I've been picking ones from like 2022. I'm gonna see if I can go into Facebook and like pull one from like 2016, 2017, when I was really on fire, when I first got onto Facebook Live. So tomorrow, Throwback Thursday, which you will see me live Friday, but I will be in the comments tomorrow. So I'll still be up at 7 a.m. Central, but I will just be in the comments engaging with you. So come on, join me, and I look forward to speaking with you all. If you have any questions, you go ahead and drop them into the comments. I will definitely answer your questions. And if it is a great question that we can use for another video, for another live, absolutely, it's going to happen. But I'm your girl, Tanisha Shanae, Miss Inspiration. Have a great day on purpose, with purpose.